Breaking Wreckords Radio. You know what it is. It's your man Maloney here. We got Makzwell, Skot in the place to be. And we have two very, very special guests in the house right now. We have Ultra Magnus and DJ Slam. How are you guys doing right now?
Feeling good, feeling great. How are you?
Excellent, man. I can't complain. You guys just wrapped up the Fire Breather tour. What you guys were in? What, Kitchener? You said last night?
Yep. Yeah. Oh, not last night. No, on
it was the last day.
Yeah.
The last day of it. Sorry, when was that? Last weekend?
That was Saturday. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Dope, man. So out of the whole tour, what did you guys say? How many cities was it all together?
6, right?
Yeah, 6.
6. Yeah. And and like the last one was actually supposed to be at a different venue. So in my mind, I thought it might have been 7, but it was 6. Yeah.
And what would you say probably livest out of all of them?
I mean, might have been London, I think.
They're all very different experiences, like dramatically different experiences. And even some of the places where like maybe not a lot of people around, the people, they're quality people, you know what I mean? Quality over quantity. So you end up having a good ass time anyway. But yeah, each place was dramatically different from the other.
Yeah. And it's hard to really judge what would be best out of that, right?
Yeah, because some places were like, the shows were pretty dope in terms of the people that were there, but it might have been a smaller crowd. And then some of the ones were like really sick stage, and not a big crowd. But then the after party was wild. Yeah. So like it's a little different.
Yeah. There's different reasons why each one kind of had its own spot.
Yeah.
Dope. Well, yeah, the London one was dope, and the Oshawa, I can say they were both two very different experiences. That's for sure.
Yeah, man. And your set like completely caught me off guard.
Yeah, the whole
you came in with like, I thought you were joking. You rolled in with like, and you're like, yo, so I'm doing an acoustic set tonight. And I was like, what? Oh, that's funny. And you're like, no, I really am. And I was like, all right, bro. This is
Homie brings the bongos in and everything.
It was a mixed bag, yo.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
The kids came on. Were you around for that?
Oh, like the first set? Yeah. I've actually done a couple shows with them in the past too, so I've seen them do that whole.
Well, that was weird because remember we were like Daniel and I were sitting there being like, I thought this was a 19+ event.
Yeah.
It's like there's literally children in the building.
You know what the funny thing about that is? I remember being like 17 and having the hardest time of my life trying to get into places to actually perform where I'd been like booked to perform by people, and then like these little kids, just no issue. I've seen this kid in like 20, you know what I mean? Like I've seen this kid enough times up on stage. Just
Yep.
That kills me. But anyways, we'll get back to the matter at hand here. I was curious, how did you acquire the name Ultra Magnus?
Sitting down one day, staring off into the sunset. Okay? Just picture me, a young kid, plains of Saskatchewan, breeze, a nice summer breeze, and on that breeze, something like whispered in my ear, you know what I mean? I had an epiphany. And through that, sorry, this takes me back. Through that prairie breeze, something told me, you know what? 80s cultures come in backgrounds. Autobots, Transformers, robots in disguise? Pretty simple. But everyone's going to be Optimus Prime. In fact, Optimus Rhyme seems hella obvious. Optimus Grime would have been pretty tight. But, nah, it's played out. I couldn't do it. Went home. I drew a bat. I drew a nice warm bat. I lit some candles. You know. I laid there with a little bit of wine, a little bit of chocolate. You know, some nice chocolate cubes. I actually dropped into the bathwater. I still ate them. I'm just trying to paint a picture. I'm just trying to paint it.
Trying to paint a picture of us thinking of you in a bathtub?
That's for the ladies. They'll get it. They'll get it. I ate that chocolate out of the bathtub. Contaminated. Now I got food poisoning. I'm delirium. Delirium. I'm completely delusional now. I've lost my mind. High fever. Now back in those days, in the prairies, you couldn't just get a doctor right away. My mom was worried. She thought she was going to lose her. She thought she was going to lose her son. So she was like, alright. She prayed. She's like, you know, please tell my son, get over this. But I went into an almost spiritual like coma, you know? Now I'm in a fever dream, rolling around sweating. And you know how fevers work? Where like you can never get comfortable. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Back on the bed. Now you're too hot. You gotta take those covers back. You're sweating. The sheets are drenched. In this uncomfortable state, finally it hit me. Ultra Magnus. A gust of smoke billows into the room. And I've never met my dad, but my dad came down from the heavens and said, "Son, I have a son now. I've reclaimed you. Your name is Magnus. Go forth into the world." And here we are.
This is 100% true story right here. You could read that full excerpt.
You can't make this shit up.
No. There are too many very specific details. I'm obviously telling the truth. Like, that's Ultra Magnus.
Well, I was gonna ask about the whole raw, but it all makes sense now that it's just that raw.
It was. Those were
That raw.
Those were raw times.
Yeah. No, but how did? Well, first off, Slam, how did you two meet, and how did you kind of get involved with the Bring It A Game Radio and Dynamic and all that?
Well, we would have met, I guess, on the East. No, I can't remember if we met here first or on the East Coast first.
East Coast.
Yeah, so I was living in Halifax at the time, and he was living in Fredericton, and our buddy Erratic, who's on Quarter Century, and we're working on putting him in on the new one. He introduced us, and was like, and it was more like a friends thing. Like, he was rapping and I was DJing, but it was more like friends because we were like in different cities. And then, yeah, then we met up a couple times. We did that Quarter Century thing when we both got to Toronto. And basically, like, and that wasn't even like the beginning of it, like in the sense that we were thinking of working on an album after. It was actually our buddy Homer that kind of like sat us down and was like, so you guys both make this, like, he's a rapper, you're a producer, you guys are like good friends, why don't you guys just make an album? And we kind of were just like, oh yeah, we could do that. Like, we honestly didn't even think about it.
Alright, Maloney, are you satisfied with this set of lies that Sam's decided to tell you about our fucking origin story? Am I allowed to curse? Can I curse?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. That's not how that went down at all.
That's right, I made that whole thing up.
Back in the 80s.
When I was a fetus.
Back in the 80s on the coast of Jamaica. It's a different culture out there, alright? I was the #1 DJ on the island. We would have sound clashes. My system was booming, alright? I had the loudest. I had the loudest. Oh shit. Oh man, I had the loudest system. Alright? Rude boys were in the place straight just opening fire. I'm like dirty rhythms. One day, Slam goes to a resort.
Once again, this is in the 80s.
Slam's a lot younger than me. He's a kid. I taught him everything he knew. But he shows up on the island 1 year. His parents bring him down. They see me on the beaches just laying up, lighting it up, dropping megahertz. He goes home for a year. This kid is a child prodigy. I don't know if you heard that DJ A-Track. This is basically what happened. This is basically DJ Slam. He goes home and for a year he's like, I gotta come back and clash with that DJ. I'm bringing the biggest system. I don't care what it costs. I'll spend my bar mitzvah money. I don't care. He learned. He came back. And he outclashed me. He earned my respect. He had the booming system that night, and I said, you know what? We can be friends. My name was Jorge back in those pre-Magnus days. So Jorge and Slam, we leave. We go back to Canada, and that's how things start. That's how things start. You know.
Yep. Yep. I mean, damn. I forgot about that story. But
yeah, it just slipped your mind.
It was just so long ago.
Well, I mean, like I guess like we've been told to tell like a shortened story, so I guess maybe that was what it is. Oh, and then I guess with Bring It A Game, we did a bunch of tracks with him. I don't know if I can go into full detail of those stories.
Stupid! Dynamic is my son. I raised him. I held dynamic in my hands. It's like
a true Lion King moment.
The proudest father. I raised this little seed, and now my boy has gone on to bring your A game. He's representing my family well. He's representing my family well. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. That's it.
So in between, like Jamaica and when he was sitting in his bathtub, he introduced me to Dynamic, and then that's how the whole thing happens.
Yeah, you're gonna meet my son. He was at the sound clash. He was just a little baby back then. It was the 80s. I couldn't get a babysitter. I'm out here clashing with DJs. My system was out of control. I was getting good money back then. I took him with me. He had little headphones on. Why do you think he's a DJ? Sorry, like, why do you think he works in radio now? Back then, I used to have him work the microphones. It was a different time, all right? You had crates. I don't know if you know about this. You actually...
No, tell me more.
So I let him work the microphone. Now, MCing was a little bit different back then, right? He was just there to move the crowd. But I had my little baby hype man. I said, this is my son. Lick off a shot. He was a natural. And now he's on Bring Your A Game, bringing that A game that I raised him to bring.
I know.
God.
What a good dad, man.
Well, I was an absentee father, but that's neither here nor there.
Too busy in bathtubs eating chocolate.
No, I left him in Jamaica when I moved after the sound clash.
So yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. That's it.
I don't know what to say, man. Like,
I can't even.
funniest shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. Alright. Here's what it is. So it's like, right, obviously, I had a question about, like, that I thought from your performances that, you know, you have a lot of, like, humour there, and, like, obviously, you're a funny motherfucking guy, right? So, like, I just wanted to know, like, if, like, where you get your influences from, like, and with the performances as well, because, like, in your videos, like, you're mad animated and shit, and, like, I see a lot of people doing videos and they might have good bars and good beats, but they kind of just don't have that performance aspect where you're killing it with that, man. Like, you're super, you know, you got moves and shit, and I just wondered if there's anything maybe outside of hip hop that gives you inspiration for that.
Oh yeah, wait, I should mention this before you get into this one. We're actually working on a new video and a new live thing. And this man's making a dance routine, and this is a true story.
Yo, there you go, real talk. Yeah, there you go.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
When I actually bring those moves back from the 80s, that will, like, I want Big Daddy Kane routines.
Sick.
Serious spins, gyrations,
Yeah.
but don't worry about that. Where do I get my influences from outside of hip hop? Now, this is very funny. I'm a very aggressive individual, okay? Sometimes I just go down to the city zoo and I study animal movement.
Yeah.
Lions, tigers, not bears, they're kind of pussy. They just have size, you know what I mean? Like, but they don't really have the spirit and the swagger that a lion has. I just study lions and I bring that lion energy with me. I take notes. I take a notepad. You know, I draw diagrams and make sure that I can just match their candor and sophistication and taste.
Yeah, it's chill.
Yeah, what up? Yo. Yeah, and is there any, like, I mean, is it just all, like, mammals, or are you down with, like, you know, aquatic animals and shit?
Disgusting, man. What is wrong with you? Are you serious? Do you want me?
no fish, like no fish scale.
What? What? I mean, Slam and I were moving that fish scale for a long time, but that's again another part of it.
Yeah,
We
like
get
that.
that. If I can give you like an actual serious answer, or, sorry, a lie. My influences. So in hip hop, I guess for live performances, the ODBs, Busta Rhymes, and that kind of thing. Ghostface Killer, obviously my favorite MC of all time.
Ghost is, yeah?
Yeah.
Sick.
And then, yeah, I guess I just inspire me, man. I just set adrift on memory bliss.
Yeah, yeah. I know what you're saying with those, like with Busta and ODB and like a lot of the woo shit, and like it's cool because like I see a lot of people like that's a school within itself, and a lot of people are influenced by it, and I see a lot of people like try and do that shit, and you can clearly see that they kind of try to copy them, and it looks like they're trying to copy it or whatever, and so it's just nice like that you're saying such classic influences, but like your shit is mad original, man. So just props on that, man. Keep on keeping it moving with some like performance energy as well as the bars and shit, you know what I mean?
And especially live too, you guys live very well.
Yeah, and I see the footage in your video and shit, and everyone's like mobbing you, and like you're just kind of standing there like looking up, like it ain't phasing you and shit. Like that's cool, man. Look, it's dope. It's same again, like the way people hold the mic and shit. Sometimes they just look like they're not. It's not entertaining enough, you know.
Another lie answer. I did theater in high school, and there are some basic performance elements that even like it drives me nuts to just see, you know, kind of newer acts. Like you're very good at projecting from the diaphragm. You know, like having some sort of presence on stage. Yeah, those are key, and I picked those things up from the little tiny bit of theater I didn't do in high school.
Yeah, word up.
I was too busy smashing these bras, you know. Again? Please, dog. Please.
Yo, you are fucked, bro. Right.
Don't give us interviews. There's a reason why Slam is...
Man is a big boy hustler in the game, man. Alright, so yeah. How important do you think it is to work with a producer in your crew, and same with you, how important do you think it is to work as a producer with an MC, and what are like the pros and cons of that, and do you think it's important for a producer to work with an MC or an MC to work with a producer, and do you think you get a better product, or do you think it's better to just be a producer and just contact MCs independently, or same with an MC, you know, just to holler at beat makers, get your beats and then do your thing in the lab, or working in the two components, that, you know, can you talk a bit about that?
Are you going to sing?
Well, I mean, am I going to sing?
No, you're going to... Yes, you're going to sing.
Oh, you know what?
Project, please.
Well, here, I guess I'll give a lie answer here too.
Let's go.
You know what? Like I think it's. I wouldn't consider myself just like a producer. Like I DJ'd first, and production came later.
Yeah.
So it's like for us, especially like kind of how we started was like when I made these beats and we did these tracks, we kind of had like the live show in mind.
Yeah.
So we kind of produced it. Like I would produce the track in a way that I think would be cool to do live.
Cool.
And like as a DJ, how to do it.
Yeah. Right. So you kind of coming from the DJ school first, and kind of thinking maybe to the end game before you even start producing the joint, right?
And it's important. I think it's important to have a producer at least on your team somewhere, because like, let's just say you need a quick edit of something, or like, you know, you have this beat, but maybe you're not like there's something about it you don't like, or something like maybe there's an element of it where you're just like, I can't rhyme over this or something like that. So then we sit down and we talk and we like listen to it and we can compare each version of it, and you know, and then we're like, okay, your idea's better.
Yeah.
So it ends up like the tracks end up being more collaborative.
Yeah, wicked. Yeah. I think there's quite substance there, you know.
Yeah, some of our favorite acts were just like producer act duos, and the Gangsta comes to mind.
Cool.
I guess the Wu, you know, he got Riz there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you're working with multiple producers, I guess like you have a little bit of a luxury here because I don't know. There's like a chemistry, a knowledge. So it's a more comfortable situation, and you can collaborate kind of easier over time. But basically,
yeah, that's true.
Having a producer is like a one producer is like having a wife that you're not fucking, and you're making music babies. You know what I mean? You start the process. It takes 9 months of gestation. You know what I mean? I make sure Slam's comfortable. He has all the things he needs, and we go in there and we just make these music babies. And each, it's all I got.
That's the best analogy I've ever heard. And I think
that's all it is. And
it's like a wife that you're not fucking, but I've got to make sure, like, he's got everything he needs so we can make babies and shit.
And we're about to drop our second child. Well, my third after Dynamic, I guess. But yeah, we're expecting.
Yeah,
do soon.
Yeah.
It's funny you actually say that too, because I was just going to ask if you guys had plans on another project together.
Yeah.
So it's already pretty well wrapped up, I take it.
And I guess like we were talking about this, like we finally decided.
Sorry. I just wanted to make the easy joke. Our last album's called The Raw, and we're talking about babies, so I guess we didn't wrap up because we're about to go and live. Right? But
well, I mean, I was gonna say like we just decided on finally decided on the name today.
Yeah,
so,
you want that exclusive?
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
My next child will be named. Is that thing recording?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Magnus.
Always. Yo, that was intense.
Magnus Opus. This is the name of the new album.
And you know what? Rappers need to start looking at their projects like babies, because when a baby's about to come into the world, you're making all these plans. You want to know where he's going to go to school. You want him to be successful. You want him to be a good kid. You know, not to flourish, to contribute to society. So it's the same thing now with baby number 2. You know, we're trying to make sure we bring this one into the world the right way, and he has the support he needs to thrive.
Yeah.
That's it.
I love it. I fucking love it, man.
So how far are you guys along in the process of that so far?
It's crunch time for us now because we have tours kind of going all over the place in the future. So this is basically like a month in town for us to really wrap things up. We're waiting on a few features and stuff like that, but we're kind of in that nice little final stretch where it's like, you're not good enough to be on my child's album song. Cut from the team. Or going back and reworking things and just adding that little bit of magic that it takes to bring a life into the world.
Yeah, I think we kind of overshot it a little bit though, because we recorded like an stupid amount of like tracks that we don't even know. We've completely lost track. Like we were just talking about the other day.
No, you have.
I've completely lost track.
I know where all my babies are. I'm not fully a bastard.
Well, they're not babies yet. They're half babies. They're deformed babies at this point. Like, but there's like there's 101 Dalmatians out there.
Don't let them know how the sausage is made. But yeah, basically that is the process though. We make a lot of songs and then we're like, these
narrow it down.
These 10.
Yeah, word.
But this time we kind of we made a lot of songs.
Yeah.
A lot of them are really not good, guys. I'll be very honest.
Yeah.
But some are good.
Maybe you just got to give it some time,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Set it for a couple of years, and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Might go into it.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you guys, like I'm trying to ask everyone at the moment, just because, like, obviously I'm from the UK, and there's a lot of different shit going on out there, and out here there's a lot of different shit going on compared to what I'm exposed to in the UK, and like obviously like trap is quite a big thing, and in England we got grime, and it's all this kind of like 140 tempo. So I know like the tempos that you're going on, the kind of sound you're coming through, it's a very original sound in that. So I just want to know what artists that are releasing music at the moment feel about the scene and its current state, because it's not a boom bap thing really anymore, or is it a trap scene now, or I don't know. Is trap good? Is it shit?
I think.
What do you guys think about it? Are you cool with going into the future? And
our biggest thing is we just kind of do what we like. You know what I mean? It's like it's not people like constantly try and find some sort of reference point for us, but we're kind of all over the place and not really opposed with any sound. It just comes down to like, does this sound cool?
I mean, like
sometimes translate.
Sometimes when I'm making beats, sometimes I'll just be like, oh, whatever that track is that came out last week sounds pretty cool. I'm gonna try to imitate it, but in my own way.
In your own version, right? Yeah, yeah.
And then it kind of changes over time, but at least I take some influence from that. So it's like, but you know what, like
fucking with current sounds though, like current styles, and being like, yo, that's hot at the moment. Like,
of course, we don't
try and do my version instead of just like listening to like Mobb Deep shit and trying to replicate like minimalist boom bap bangers or whatever.
Yeah, because either way, you'll just end up with a bunch of redundancies. Like, there are so many people trying that trap angle. We see them all the time, and eyes kind of glaze over on the ones that don't resonate with me.
Yeah, there's a lot out there.
Yeah, and then with boom bap, it's the same way. You know, I like a buffet, man. I like to roll in there, you know, grab.
It's the same.
Little salad, a little like, you know, a bit of soup, and you know, some protein and shit.
And I mean, you know what? I'll be honest. A lot of this stuff that I actually been listening to lately is from the UK.
Word, yeah.
I really am thinking like Split Profits from the UK.
Split Profits, word up.
And like, and then a bunch of the grams like Professor Green is some dude that I keep listening to.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, so there's just
that's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah, actually.
Is anyone you check any UK or anything like that? Or you check any other countries out?
Should I put me onto that dude Flip Tricks from the UK?
Flip Tricks,
I think he's in Split Profits, isn't he?
What's that?
Isn't he in Split Profits?
Flip Tricks is the dude who owns the label High Focus, which is like the, you know, kind of like the unofficial like biggest label coming out of the UK and London, and they got like quite a lot of acts on there, and he's a solo artist there, and he's got his finger in a lot of pies, that dude. Do you know what I mean? Like he's signing a lot of the big acts. Like if you come out of London at the moment, you've got to kind of go through him, and his game's just really on point. Like, I think he looks after his artists, make sure they get their money and their products get handled like in the way they want it. You know, so
he's really
it's a good guy to listen to, but blatantly to try and holler at him or something. You know?
Yeah, well, he's very like well curated in terms of the artists. I don't know that I've seen associated with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Any whack shit from that camp over there.
Yeah, no, that's cool. It's nice to hear some references from home, man.
Oh, and I mean, you know, I'll be honest, and something that I keep playing on tour. I don't know if he's ever been digging it, but one of my favorite albums is Chasing Status.
Chasing Status, yeah, brilliant. Yeah, that's wicked. Yeah. So they're saying again they can do nothing wrong in England. Like we gave them the crown jewels and shit, and we were just
there.
Like,
we go.
You own England now. Like they just top charts. They're playing club. You know, they don't even really play in England anymore. They're just in like Brazil and Paris, and they're just super rich producers, and they kind of were making like drum and bass tracks and stuff. But then they started like, you know, I don't know if you listen to their album, it's a bit more.
Yeah, like dubstep and stuff.
Yeah, like variation in there and stuff, and like they kind of took it to the plate and started trying to be more musicians than DJs. So. That's wicked, man. I can almost hear a bit of influence in your beats there, you know.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, tight. That's tight.
And speaking of the producing aspect and all that, curious. I was gonna ask actually if you preferred DJing or producing, but I'm gonna guess you would say DJing, as that's what you started with, and you kind of take a DJ aspect to producing.
I mean, it kind of flips on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Like some days, sitting in front of a computer and trying to manipulate a snare sound for 2 hours like kills me.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes I just want to just go and just like scratch and whatever. But at the same time, I think it goes hand in hand, because there's shows where like I love DJing and I would love to do it, but if I didn't know how to produce, and this is something I was saying in the car on the way here, I think it's unfair to call yourself a DJ nowadays and not be remixing tracks or like making edits. Or, you know, I think it's unfair to just mash up stuff and just mix track to track and call yourself a DJ. Like, I think you need to be on the production side